means more than words can say. Just one touch, and I know I'm gonna stay for always.
Well, it's a wonderful Monday, isn't it? What a nice weekend, good weather. Just in case anybody's like, who's this new person that's on the top right? Well, her name is Sara Collins. She's actually has a YouTube channel on her own. It's called Sass Chick, and there's the YouTube channel you want to check out. She's from the UK. She's also she does a lot of good hard work, people. You guys all know Viz from The Walking Dead now, who's been a guest on this channel a lot of times. I even dropped the video over the weekend of the 100th episode that I was invited to. I mean, it was so nice of Viz to invite me to 100th episode. I mean, I was taken back by
without me, which is perfect. Thank you, Viz.
And I think that happened like a week ago, but I don't like to mirror a show that so close when he just dropped it. You know what I mean? Now I dropped it, and she's one of the producers that helps Viz behind the scenes. They have like a lot of cool videos with music, and she helps Marcus, who's Viz's brother, and there's so many of them. There's Summer, just so many people that helps make his show something. And dude, his show, when he first had Viz on this channel, Viz has 1.8 subscribers. Now we have over 16.8 thousand subscribers, thanks to all the help and people, and it's just awesome. It's very awesome.
Good show. I mean, it was fun having him on, but let's just face it, it's a damn good show, regardless coming on here or not. Yeah. The dude was destined to go do well. It was like, it's a great idea. Now he's endorsed by the actual
AMC.
By the Walking Dead. AMC. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. He actually had a Walking Dead guest yesterday that's from the Savages, those garbage people. I don't know if you watched that far yet. You said you missed it.
No, I read books.
Yeah, he had an awesome guest. Now, of course, he had a guest on. Now, of course, that show did not get the amount of views when I was on there.
I watched The Walking Dead. I used to watch. I just don't have cable. That's why I stopped. I wasn't like I wanted to. It's just I've been on the road with the backpack, and there's no like, what kind of cable do you have? Okay, whatever they got. It's in England. England. BBC shit. Come on.
What part of your TV tax? You're from, Sara?
Sorry?
What part of the UK are you from?
I'm down in West Sussex, so about a couple of hours from London. So nice by the sea, nice relaxed. Yeah. I used to live up London way, and it was just mad.
If you guys moved further down. UK, can you guys actually get the app AMC Premiere? Is that available to the people in the UK?
Actually, embarrassingly enough, I did actually change my TV provider just so I could get the AMC channel. But I do reactions. I do reactions to the show on my YouTube.
Just 3 weeks ago,
I'm a fan.
No, just 3 weeks ago, I got rid of Comcast. I got rid of a cable company. I went with the telephone company that gave me fiber to the house. Got rid of all cable through them, and I actually use YouTube TV right now. And they give you like all these streaming services for free, like 7 days free. So I get these streaming services just to catch up on all these shows. Kind of like what I did with in the beginning of the virus, we all had to stay home. It was my time to catch up on The Walking Dead, so we got AMC Premiere and we just binged it. We got the free month binge until we saw it all. And of course, we canceled it.
Yeah, that's it. Had enough now.
And that's how you got to play the game. And then, so everybody, what we're going to do today, people in the chat, let me do a shout out for the people in the chat. We got a lot of people here already. That's so awesome that they're getting here a little early. We got Tom Murr, Voynich, Salt of the Earth, 1969, which, wow, that's a cool name. Red Pill Paul, ACO 781, Flat Accord Music, who actually makes music for us and created our song at the end. So Flat Accord Music also. his YouTube page is in the description, along with Sara. They're all in the description. And if you like the intro song, even that's in the description on who sang that song. Most people don't know, Bob, who sang that song, but that's fine. I'm not going to tell anybody. They got to figure out themselves.
I had a poster.
4BZ Truth, our good friend Charlie. He has a great show on about, if you want to learn about like life after death kind of stuff, Charlie's perfect. His channel is perfect for that kind of a near-death experience. He has a lot of great guests about that. So if you're ever into that kind of a thing, this is a great channel. GB126, Scott Morin, a lot of people. Amundsen Oblasik, GBR. Oh, and our good friend Joan Torres. He's been a great friend, and you know what? Puerto Rican or something. Before Sara wants to learn a little bit more about the Mandela effect, she made a comment to me in Walking Dead Now about I'm having a great show, learning a lot. So I said, hey, why not come on the show and we'll kind of talk about what is Mandela effect, and is it something where are people crazy? Are we nuts? Is it real? Is it not? So we're gonna kind of go through the history a little bit about Mandela effect, and then there's like a little quiz on like what you remember, what it's like. It's kind of a fun quiz because it's like, oh wow, I remember this, and you don't get the answer until the end.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun. So, but before that, Bob, remember a couple weeks ago we had Miss Callie on?
Yeah.
The Dead Man Party episode.
Yes.
Miss Callie is a wonderful person, and she was fantastic. And one of the things that we want to know, why she was gone for so long, where technically she wasn't gone, she just kind of took a break off of certain shows. So over the weekend, starting like Thursday and Friday, I kind of took a break. The only show I watched was actually Walking Dead Now. That was the only show. I took a break from YouTube besides Walking Dead Now. And sometimes by taking a break, getting kind of like, it kind of feels good in a lot of ways because there's a lot of negativity out there. When you get yourself away from the negativity, makes you feel fresh. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get tired of the mask talk. I get tired of the virus talk. And it was just so nice to get away from it all. I did a garbage dump run this morning. Cut my middle finger.
Cut your middle finger. Good.
Cut the middle finger. So it was just fun. And Miss Callie's one of the most smartest person that I know to say, hey, take a break. And it's fun taking a break. Just getting away from things. And Bob,
I do. I don't watch anybody. I feel bad. If you watch my stuff, I don't watch your stuff. What don't you? I don't even think I'm subscribed to you. But I'm your friend. I don't care. I just don't watch anybody's stuff. I watch Viz because I want to take a break. I want to watch somebody talk. I just need a break.
Like I don't watch TV. Break. It's just like I want to hear positive stuff, and I caught up on a lot of shows that I missed out. I don't know if you guys heard of this show. Maybe Sara has. I didn't know this. The Walking Dead is owned by AMC. I did not know AMC owns Shudder. Shudder is the streaming service that's all horror movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
They own Shudder. It's all horror movies. And Glenn from The Walking Dead Now actually made an original movie for Shudder. It was called Mayhem. And the reason I'm bringing this movie Mayhem up, because people in the chat, trust me, you guys got to watch this movie because it's made in 2017, right? But the movie is made about about viruses, about catching a virus. They don't turn into zombies exactly, but Glenn from The Walking Dead works for this building, and he kind of like gets fired. They try to make him the downfall guy, but somehow in this building, this virus got inside this building. Oh. So this building gets quarantined, kind of like what's going on nowadays. Gets quarantined. And everybody has to stay in this building for 8 hours so the virus could get clean and fixed. So for 8 hours, they become psychos. They become like not like full zombie. They beat up each other. They hit each other. They kill each other.
Like that, though. I've seen a movie like that.
There's a lot of movies like that, but this is AMC. This is Glenn from The Walking Dead now, and I watched this yesterday. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Have you heard of that guy Bob Jim Bob drive-in show? It's like Shutter. He pretends that he has a trailer right at a drive-in.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh,
so
yes.
On Shudder, he has a full season of 2020, and he does this movie Mayhem. So it was just awesome seeing Glenn. Because everybody knows Glenn is killed off of Walking Dead now. But it was so nice seeing Glenn going like pure madman. If you're going to kill your bosses, you could do it now because you could get away with it because it's all blame on the virus. It was just kind of like it relates to nowadays. But in this movie, and it was just cool seeing Glenn. And I'm like, oh, wow, it makes sense, right? AMC owns Shudder. Glenn gets killed off of Walking Dead now, and he makes this movie for AMC on Shudder.
Oh, I lost audio.
Oh, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you. Yeah, it was weird. You went silent for a second.
So the movie's called Mayhem, guys. Maybe one of these days on Horror Talk, we're going to have to do Mayhem. I tell you what, Bob. We'll do Mayhem Talk this Thursday because I'll show you trailers. It's a fucking crazy movie. Have you seen it, Sarah? Have you seen Mayhem?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard, again, as you were telling me what it was about, I've kind of heard of it, but no, I haven't seen it, but definitely will.
Oh, that's crazy. What Shudder has, yeah, exactly. Flat of course, Shudder has some crazy movies, yes, because they just don't have like the popular movies. They got like every low budget, mid budget, high budget, and it's only $5 a month, and they're not paying me, guys. Shudder's not endorsing me. You know,
not sponsored.
They should endorse you. I get it free.
Yeah, well, Glenn got killed. Yes, Glenn got killed, and you made this movie for AMC. I know, right?
Yes.
Thank you, AMC, for killing me, but thank you for giving me a movie.
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that endorsement, man. I want that endorsement. I like that guy, that white trash guy. That guy's
he's
great.
He's funny. He's funny because there's a scene in the movie where Glenn actually has sex with a girl, right? But they had their full hold on. But they had their full clothes on. But during the movie, there's people that had sex. They're all running around naked. So that Jim Bob guy's like, dude, why is everybody else naked after sex? And Glenn and this girl, they still have their clothes on. I was like, holy shit, he's right.
Right, yeah. I would love that kind of job, man. Gosh. I'm going to the BBC. I'm going to ask for that job. I'm going to go knock on the, come on, someone hire me, man. I'll do this. We'll have a horror movie on BBC. We'll have a horror movie-a-thon. Because their TV, no offense, your TV's boring. We have some good shows.
Trust me, it is.
Good. Yeah, they love
That's
the
why I'm on
reality shows. Reality TV. Everyone's got like all the British girls have like, they call them trout mouth. And like every woman has a trout mouth. But she knows what I'm talking about. She knows, she's laughing.
Yeah.
The big old hair and the trout mouth. I'm like, what's up with the trout mouth on everybody? Like, oh.
Hey, did you guys know that YouTube has been making some kind of changes behind the scenes on their programs where now like when I set up the show, if you don't check your chat square could be unchecked because they're trying to make more people use their program than actually using StreamYard. And also get this, if you're a jerk in people's chats now, and so Bob, say like somebody's a jerk in our chat, YouTube will actually ban them themselves now from people's show, and it's not by you. So their name, yes. So their name could be. You know how Bob? You know how like you want to unban somebody, you go in there, you're trying to unban somebody. It won't let you. It'll lock you out to even unbanning people if they get banned now on people's. So like I don't know what the rule is. Like if you get like 200-300 complaints about a person, they could get banned from your own chat, and you have no power to let people out or in.
Oh, what? Well, I guess we're getting to that point now. I guess there's a lot of mean people. It makes sense. I'm not hating it. I mean, most people are nice. I'm not worried about it. But if somebody gets to the point where they're going to be banned, that's pretty bad by YouTube. Damn. I mean, it must be a pretty criteria, man. But yeah, but we crazy, man. That's just where we are now. That's where we live, you know.
Yeah, right here. Right here. Look at this. Look at this. I can't unban Jim Lotus. I don't know who Jim Lotus is, but
who's Jim Lotus?
Sorry, Jim.
Sorry, Jim.
You're out.
If you're watching, dude.
If somebody gets banned, it must be for a good reason, right? I mean,
yeah, true.
Sorry, Jim Lotus. Hope it didn't ban from here. I don't know.
That's
find half the things to do. I used to be able to go into community and then find the people. Like I usually have a box in mine. Like deal with people banned. I can't find community. I can't find anything. YouTube. Everything is completely changed. I can't find anything.
Yeah. And the reason I know this is because I got an email over the weekend by YouTube saying that we had to put 5 people in your ban table that you can't unlock. Apparently they banned 5 people.
Kidding.
Yes.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
I know. And look at this. This person says, I have had people banned that I didn't ban or anyone else. Just one I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not personal. That's somebody else. Texas Danny's in the house.
Oh, I'm awake. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Sara, this is Texas Danny, and sometimes Texas Danny has time. We have him jump on because he kind of tells us what land changes that are happening that he sees in the world.
Yep.
So he's like our news person. He's guy. So Danny, before we get to the Mandela Effect quiz that we're all gonna have fun doing, tell us what any changes coming that you see.
Well, I got my atlas, and it's my quantum atlas. It's from my old tattered 2012 North American atlas that I've got right here, and it varies day to day what that puppy's going to tell me. If you guys will bear with me, I'll open the pages and first start taking a look.
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah, okay. Let me kind of look over you. If you guys want to go, keep going. I'll get an observation or two.
Yeah. Go down. And I'm going to share a screen of that quiz just so we get to look at it a little bit while you find that one. So, Sara, first question before he finds it. Do you remember the candy Kit Kat? Do you guys have Kit Kat in the UK?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Remember it well.
Now, for yourself, do you remember if the Kit Kat, there's a picture on the left and there's a picture on the right on how it's spelled? Do you remember on one of these on how the Kit Kat was spelled?
I remember it without the hyphen. Okay. I've just seen it with the hyphen, and that's kind of like, actually, that doesn't look right to me. No.
Yeah, Eric, let me do a disclaimer for the sidebar so people know. I talk about I always have to do a disclaimer for Mandela effects. Now, I don't call them Mandela effects. I don't believe in Mandela effects. I call them individual effects. Like it's up to you. It's up to you and your AI manifestor, God, lampshade, whatever is within your spiritual journey. So you'll see what you're supposed to see, and if you don't see anything, you don't feel bad because you're not supposed to see it. I don't know how it works. I just know that I'll see some things that somebody else will not see and don't remember. Somebody will say something about me, and I don't remember what they're talking about. So they're not wrong. I'm not wrong. And I decided don't fight. Don't say okay. Just say okay. We'll agree to disagree. I call it the douchebag effect, David Bowie effect, whatever.
And if you don't really eat Kit Kat that much, I mean, you're really not going to know.
No, you're not going to know. There's a lot of things you're not going to know.
So for this one, the Kit Kat nowadays is spelled without the hyphen. So you got that one. You got that one right for the opposite of Mandela effect. So you got one on that side. And that's what I'm saying. This is just kind of fun. Now here's Fruit of Looms. Now there's a Fruit of Loom with a basket, and there's a Fruit of Loom without a basket. And Fruit of Looms, of course, underwears and T-shirts. Do you remember the Fruit of Loom if it has a basket or not?
I'm not sure. I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't really know Fruit of the Loom that well, so I probably wouldn't have known either. But to me, it looks right with the basket, but as I'm just looking at it now, but
Okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
let me click on it and let's see what it says. Wrong. It's a collection.
Ah,
of
it was without.
What it means is Medelific people remembers it with the basket, but it never had a basket. So, like you said, you don't buy the product, you don't wear it, so you're just taking it. Yes.
And it's not going to affect you either way. So it said don't ever worry about it. Don't worry.
It's just kind of fun going over this.
Let me ask her my question. I can't find nobody. Let me ask her my question now. Again, there's no right answer. So when you play chess, you ever played chess before?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Not very good at it, but yeah.
Who do you checkmate to win the game?
Oh God. The king. No. You've got me thinking now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Me, Bob's always wrong on this one with everybody, so there's no right or wrong.
Oh my God.
And then I got friends that remember the other one. I got other friends that remember this other one. I'm like, okay.
King.
Don't matter.
Was it?
Okay.
It is checkmate the king.
That's the current one.
Yeah.
Bob and I remembers the queen, but like I said, it's
Queen, yeah.
Or Bob and I could have just been playing it wrong all this time, like idiots. You never knew.
You never know.
It's why it don't affect you. Don't worry about it. What's that? We got Danny on. Here we go.
Yeah, it was the king for me.
It was the king
I
for you.
wasn't
Okay.
that good a chess player, but it was the king.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah. That's a lot of people. In fact, the majority. I found one person. I remember checkmating the queen. But and also in card games, 2 queens beat 2 kings for me. But now it's 2 kings beat 2 queens. I'm like, what? So I'll be losing all the games here. I'll be losing all the chess games here. So it's not a good memory to have.
Just forget it.
Inside.
Bob, think about it this way, Bob. You and I were fighting for the women's rights me movement back in the early 80s, right? With the queen person that can knock out. So you can say that we're one of the originals that fought for women in the beginning.
Yeah, we fought. Yeah, I protected my the other queen. Yeah, but yeah, that's not wrong. I'd say 99.9% are like, dude, what are you talking about? It's always been the king. I said, that's cool with me. I don't know. I don't care. It don't bother me. So that means I'm going to lose the game and you're going to win the game. That's all that means. I'm an idiot. So don't bother me.
Texas Danny got to get to work soon. So Texas, what do you got for us?
Well, okay, I just looked my North American atlas over briefly. Usually I look at it much longer than I do now. And okay, I'd like to emphasize one point. If you were to see this, like I've done this, I've shown the atlas on the YouTube before, right? And excuse me. If you were to see it like 2 months ago, you'd be seeing these same features. This comes to me initially. This is what I see when and I can open this day to day, and I got something new. And around the San Bernardino area, Southern California, and that kind of thing, you've got some raised burns anyway on the map. And I'm trying to figure out, does this make declination or elevation? What's happening with the land masses? Okay. And we've got changes all around, especially we've got changes to between Arizona and Phoenix and Tucson. You've got population changes. You've got new cities and, small suburbs and towns demonstrated and that kind of thing. I've got the actual bracket that Phoenix is in has actually moved down the page. So it's in the kind of where the crease is between the pages when it used to be just up above it. And so I've got these, I've got Washington State with a bunch of right where, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams right in there. That's raising up. Are showing brown burns on it, right? Wow. Before it didn't have it. Now we're talking about going back 6 weeks ago or something like that. But slowly but surely, they've been coming up. I've been watching Yellowstone digging that trough or caldera, and it looks like it's heading out towards Deadwood. Yeah, it is. It's for a long time. The Cascades look like they're like if somebody rolls over in bed, that's all they do is they roll over in bed. That's it. Well, the Cascades are still doing that. That amounts to a huge bit. And you guys know I used to live in Washington State down in Vancouver, and the situation we've got there is I've looked at my old counties. I did a thing on what I called the Denali Water Event, which used to be Mount McKinley up in Alaska. And what the situation is with that is the water that used to be there. I think Robert might be able to relate to this. We used to have an old hard cap ice North Pole, okay? And there used to be a tremendous amount of more moist hard ice up in Alaska, in northern Canada, and that kind of thing. And I have a theory based on what I'm looking at that somehow that water still exists in the quantum or atomic reality or something else like that, and worked itself into the soil. We had retro causality, right, where that water was able to, like, it we went right back into the past, right? And it changed the history of the population because the water was there, plus the size changes to the earth. And so this changed, like, for example, over in Edmonton and Calgary, Canada, which is quantumly changed for several people who are affected. It's like it went zap, and it gave fuel to the fire for the population in there to just jump big time. Right. And so, my 2012 North American Atlas and what I could see on Google Earth, just it made Edmonton and Calgary bigger. It's like you took 200 towns in your hand, rolled the dice, and let them go all over Alberta, grew into there. Plus that water went into Montana, right? So it wasn't as big as effect, but you had like more bigger lakes went into Montana. Billings, Helena, that kind of thing like that, which had a little amber designation for population areas, suddenly started having little bitty squares around them, okay? Denoting like an incorporated city or a bigger population or that kind of thing like that. And there's a couple of towns that begin with a B in southern British Columbia now that weren't there before. And we're talking in the last 2 weeks. For me, like Robert said, we don't know what everybody else is seeing, and I don't know what kind of, for all I know, food juice is sprayed into the air and it's messing with my mind or something like that. I'm just going by what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing, I'm reporting accurately and truly. We got a lot of changes coming on because the world in its scope and its rotation is slowly closing in, and it's getting smaller steadily.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I noticed Vancouver, only for me, small amount of people, that Vancouver Island was Victoria on it, and keeps hugging the shoreline. Almost, I think it's connected now. Someone said it was connected. I think Tamacon was connected now. The little islands are popping up in weird spots. I'm like, to me, guys, again, we could be psychotically or mentally ill. He's a veteran. He's got PTSD. I'm a veteran. He's an Army veteran. There you go. I'm a Navy veteran with PTSD. So we could be wrong. So don't go, those guys are, no, we've got problems to begin with.
Do your research and have fun doing it.
We have fun with it. See, he sees what I see, whatever, for the reasons why we both see those things going, hey, we can have that discussion, and it might sound mentally ill to other people. Like, okay, leave us alone. We're going to have a private conversation. We're going to talk crazy amongst ourselves. Go have a good time with the same people. But yeah, that's cool, Danny. I like to hear that because I can confirm a lot of the Vancouver area stuff. I've been watching that, man. I got it right behind me. See if I got my map there.
Well, you may be referring to Robert to Vancouver Island, which I knew on the map. I never went there. I was in Vancouver, Washington, Clark County, Washington, plus Portland, Oregon, and my county, Clark County and Skamania County have dramatically changed. And like I said, it's like dominoes, everybody. It's like if you set an extremely huge amount of elaborate dominoes together, like some people do to demonstrate physics in elaborate form and entertain people. The dominoes fall like for an hour or something like that. That is what's happened with the water event. Excuse me. Everything kind of started having an effect, and I started watching the populations and everything like that changing through the valleys, the formations of the valleys changing, clear cutting, for example, of timber and everything like that increased dramatically. Eric, where you're at, man, the Seattle and Tacoma, Robert might be there too. That changed his format. Olympia, of course, his position has changed. And there's some place called Lacey that's grown right next to it, which I wasn't aware of. That kind of thing. So the format of Seattle and Tacoma has changed. Of course, Puget Sound, because the water retrocausality in time came on down there and changed where the populations changed and went. It's like a time effect.
It is. It's a weird time effect. It's a crazy time effect.
Robert, no fruit. Do you eat anything that's still alive? Do you need a nice fruit basket? No, that kind of fruit basket, the one actual food.
Our fruit basket. Oh, all right. I got a fruit basket. I got some ginger too. Ginger. A lot of English people love their ginger. It's easy and it's cheap, and it really helps you out when you're sick. So it's good stuff. I'm all natural. There's your fruit basket, man.
Sara, you're learning a lot today. You just learned about some mass changes that's happening in America.
Yeah, it's awesome. Fascinating.
You're probably like, Seattle.
No, it's awesome.
But did you guys all know that all these places are underwater?
Question?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. How do you pronounce that? Sajid? How is that pronounced?
Sazchik, but Sara. My name's Sara.
Okay. I'd like to. Have you looked at the UK? Have you looked at Scotland? Have you looked that over?
I haven't. Do you know what? I was fascinated with listening to you. I haven't looked at it in detail.
Okay, see, some of my markers are in the UK, and somebody else, for example, who's named Ashley, she's over in the UK, and she's done. For me, for my reality and everything like that, the top of Scotland is gone. Okay, and just like everywhere else on Earth or whatever we're in, the UK has become smaller, and a lot of things have changed. Scotland's sliding and going down right now. And it always had that gigantic split between, like a continental split between parts of Scotland. But now that's breaking up north of Avon. And, my markers in the UK have changed. So I was wondering if anybody from there was having a look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I would definitely be sure to check it out now.
Mark your map like Danny does. Just mark your map. Just draw a line and markers on it and then walk away. And that's it. Stare at it one time, then walk away, and see if it looks the same to you like in another week or two.
Oh, I like that.
That sounds cool.
I look at Scotland every day. I got windows. He lives in Scotland.
You see anything different? Oh, okay. If he gets a chance.
Do you notice anything different? Texas Danny's asking you on a plane. Have you noticed anything different? Put that in the chat, please.
Well, in Scotland. Oh, I didn't know about. There's an island. The Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight.
Yes, southern England.
Yeah, it's an island. Island of Wight. Yeah, Isle of Wight. I've never heard of it. Isle of Wight.
Isle of Wight.
Dude, we got some Scotland people today.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what people in Scotland are seeing. I really would. Because there's a lot of theories about the our world we live in and how we engage the environment. Man, I am tagged down and locked down where I'm at. I don't even get out. So what the actual reality 50 miles away from me is, I haven't physically ever seen with my eyes. I'm going by Google Earth, some other things, and my 2012 Atlas.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's the way to do it. I mean, you can see it. There's another island between Ireland and England, or Ireland and England. What's that? There's one little island. David Icke was supposed to be on there. Something with the cat's tails. They have short cat tails. There's another island. It's between Ireland and UK. I forget what it's called.
Well, should I pull up a
Geography
map?
was never my strong point.
Yeah. The Isle of Wight is the one south, right? That's the one south. The Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of it. That's why I always ask questions. For me, I never saw it before. But I'm not from here, so let's not say it's Mandela effect. Fuck that.
No,
exactly. The thing about the island was they had a Woodstock on it. They had a Woodstock reenactment on the Isle of Wight. And I go, I go, when the hell they ever had a Woodstock in England? They had a Woodstock in Isle of Wight in England. Now, it appeared out of nowhere. Danny probably scratched his head. Look at Danny. Look for there's an island of Wight. Let's see if Danny recognizes the island.
I've heard of it, and I knew about it, David. I heard something about a year ago about it. And, yeah, I understand that it's but the southern England coast has been broken up because of its movements or its changes, right? But I heard of the Isle of Wight, and I knew that David Icke, was down there and that kind of thing.
Well, yeah. Well, Bob, here's the map. What am I looking for?
Well, you have to go down south. She'll give you directions.
Very bottom center, is it not?
There's Scotland. Here's Ireland. Here's England.
We own it, Wales, by the way. And then
there's a down there island called Douglas.
You gotta get closer though. I can't see it.
We're all like, huh?
Go down. Go down.
Go down.
Go down. Go down. Yeah, towards London.
Yeah, further down.
Okay, so
if
it's
there it is.
Center.
You see it?
Yeah.
There's one little dot right there. That's
broken off, right? A little bit.
Yeah, the Isle of Wight. So the Isle of Wight had Woodstock.
There it is. Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yeah. It had a Woodstock on it, and they have multiple festivals all the time on that thing. It's a party island, man. Now, in my memory, there was also called the Isle of Man. That's what I remember was the Isle of Man is it's between Ireland and Wales. It's like the Island of Man. But the weird thing about the Island of Man is that nobody knows about it. I'm going to ask you guys this question. Now, you might not know about it. I've been over here doing research. I'm an anthropologist. On the Island of Man was an internment camp for World War II. It was an internment camp for World War II. And it was also it was for family members, famous family members that were still in Germany. They were German and foreigners that were thought to by Britain to be maybe risque, like we don't know if they're good guys or bad guys. So they went to the internment camp on the Island of Man. They had a whole like World War II internment camp for Germans and stuff. They even had some Operation Paperclip Germans that were smuggled out by British intelligence, taken to the Isle of Man to hide out, and they took them from there to the United States. These were Nazis. So I'm just doing a little bit of weird trivia that maybe nobody knows about. I found out about.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that one. Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so look up Island of Man. It's got an entire history. You'll make you scratch your head. I was like, what? Number one, I never heard of the island. And number two, it's got a lot of history. Like tons of history, like crazy. There are famous nephews. I think, all these famous people, psychiatrists, psychologists, world famous people that were all related to these people in the States, but they were still foreigners put on that island. So if you guys look up Island of Man, you're just going to spend the entire day reading tons of crazy stuff, experiments, things they did there, art. They had like a think tank on there with all these brilliant people from Germany, France, all the ones they thought that weren't sure they were good or bad guys. Crazy stuff came off the Island of Man. So just to add that to your guys' list of weird things. It was like,
just seeing the map, by the way, that Gypsy Road showed, Europe is ridiculously small, and so is the Mediterranean. Right. Yeah, because we're and our angles and everything like that are changing over. But the Mediterranean's smaller, the Black Sea's been changed there, the Caspian Sea's been changed there. There is no ice on Norway, with our northern Russia, which is freaky, and with the old top of Scotland used to be there. The very top of Scotland had ice all the time on it, and of course, the very top of Scotland is gone now. So,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of changes. Again, we're telling, like, you guys might remember, you guys might not. It don't matter if you don't. It don't change the taste of the rice in China. Don't care. So don't stress it. We're just mentally ill. But yeah, he has a lot of the same memories I do. About I don't remember the. I'm in England with people with the effect, whatever effect they got, and they're telling me about the canals, and I'm learning about the canal systems here in England. I have no memory of any canal systems in England ever, and even in my school, at the university, I'm like, what canal systems have ever been in England? But here they are, and they ran coal. They were I can't figure who built them, and they're saying some duke back in 1700s or some crazy shit. And no way he could build these without equipment.
Yeah.
There's no treasures. You're telling me guys with pickaxes and shovels built these huge canal systems all the way through England, all the way up in Paris, all the way up into Russia. Thousands of canal systems were built by people with pickaxes? Sure. No, man. There's something going on here, guys.
Made by people, right?
To me, it's people talk about the pyramids. I go, fuck the pyramids. What about the canal?
Yeah.
And I ask English people, I go, who built the canal systems? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
Birmingham,
And so
UK
I
has more canals and
whatever. And I go, who built them? And they're like, well, I can tell you what they were used for, but yeah, but who built them?
same guys that built the pyramids, right there, Bob. Same guys that built the pyramid.
Same guys who built the pyramids. The same.
They dug them out. Votes the story.
They were busy.
Yeah. So you're British, and so I'm asking you,
Yeah.
who the hell built your canal system?
No.
Some duke. There's like a duke something. I'm like, this guy did not. He organized the build of the canal system. It took a few years. Oh no.
Oh, here we go. There's the answer right here. Elon Musk did it.
Elon Musk did it. Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk was invited to go to Egypt by the Egyptians. He just came out with a full statement that says that aliens built the pyramids, and he's invited to go to Egypt to go look at where the aliens built them. So when he finds out who built those pyramids, he needs to tell me who built these canal systems. That's
The
more
canals,
important,
yeah.
right? So now
Yeah.
you're.
And let
Why
us
do
know.
people get invited and I don't? How come they don't invite me?
See, now you're
Invite me. I want to see this.
She's gonna be looking at the canal systems now and asking her family, going, you know,
I'm going to be like, what?
can you honestly tell me who built those? They're gonna have some duke, and they're gonna show a couple of guys with pickaxes because along the canal systems, they got a name of some duke with a couple of pickaxes and a couple of guys with shovels. I said,
Just
no
smart.
fucking way.
This is what I did. Yay.
With the cartoon character, no, they didn't do this. So, anyway, yeah, along with the changes, I know Danny's been doing a lot of topography changes. I've been running around with these canal systems, even in France, all over. Who the fuck built these canal systems?
I'd like to
I
mention
should make notes now. I've got my homework now. I need to
Yeah, no, you gotta look it up.
remember what I need to research.
you guys, I'd like to mention the pyramids if I can, okay?
Yeah.
And then, okay, the Sahara is smaller now. And in my timeline, my reality, the only thing that was in the Sahara was the Sahara, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had the legend of the lost city of Timbuktu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that. But we also, in Egypt, had a Papa Pyramid, a Mama Pyramid, and a Baby Pyramid. And
Yeah.
Robert did a thing on this some time back. Pharaoh had just one cobra snake. He didn't have no vulture on the side hanging loose, right?
One
We didn't
snake.
have no small terrace. But on the topography, on the Google Earth, what I'm seeing, Earth is breaking and changing. And I have literally seen where the Nile has moved over. You can see the ground where it has changed. And the Giza Plateau and that water that was coming out of Lake Victoria is flushing now into the Mediterranean. That area has grown. So it's changed all around there.
A lot of waterways.
It's one-
A lot of waterways.
Fiddle Venom wrote, pyramids are close to the city now, too.
Yeah, they're right up next to it, like right on the city, like they're right there. What in the hell did
And they're supervising.
that?
Well, we have we made a movie, Bob and I did back then. There is a clip of us standing in front of the pyramid. Bob. We had the helmets on, so I guess he's right.
Yeah.
He must have watched that video.
No, you should ask her. No, how many pyramids do you remember? Ask her. What do you think? What do you think? Sazhik. How many pyramids do you remember? I mean, don't. There's no wrong answer, by the way. So don't ever be embarrassed.
No, I can only remember 2.
Okay.
So
Yeah, most people remember 3, but I guess there's 9.
9 now.
9
There's
pyramids?
God. Really?
Yeah.
Are those the little baby pyramids?
Way off.
They keep showing up.
Yeah.
There's, I think, around Egypt itself, the Cairo, I guess there's the 3, and then there's 3 more. So that's 6.
I'm going to type it in.
Yeah, and then there's more showing up down the Nile. They're just popping up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of us, even whatever effects you have, it don't matter. A lot of people are scratching their heads going, I just don't remember in my schooling ever seeing so many pyramids. It's so, again, people, I don't like the word Mandela effect. There's just some sort of something going on with things that just keep adding. It's just adding more things than you remember.
This says the Egyptian pyramids are ancient pyramids shaped Montessori structure located in Egypt. Of course, we know that. As of November 2008, source cite either 118 or 138 as a number of identified Egyptian pyramids.
138?
118 or 138. Really? What are they?
I know they had several apart from the main ones in Giza, which here, by the way, are 2 of them are almost identical in size, and with the other one, it's like 2 Papa pyramids and a Mama pyramid.
Yeah, that's
and
how I always think of a single dad. I was a single dad. So it was like dad, son, and daughter, the small one. Dad and son are a little bit almost the same size, but so dad, son, and then daughter. Wait, the small one. Now it's got the 3 steps. Those are step pyramids. Again, I know that Egypt was a university. I already know. I don't have to tell anybody, but it was a university. It's a mathematical university. So these are students building pyramids, just trying to do the math on it, like a school. But they're all over now. They're all the way down. It even proves what I'm saying because they're showing up down the Nile. All these step pyramids are showing up like they're all eroded under sand, but they're popping up everywhere. They're just discovering everything now. Just way over too many. I've never been half that stuff. Like what?
Well, look, yeah.
The tomb of the queens. They've got the tomb of the queens now. All these queens are in these tombs. What? Man. See, this is. I don't like them. I don't like to use the Mandela effect word. I don't like that. So I'm just saying it's the things are changing effect of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Bob,
you might not remember it.
Bob, who do you think built the pyramids?
Well, I know if we had a lot more oxygen, which I think we had at one time, was obviously, I'm going to use science based off the oil that's in the ground, which is basically carbon. So the volume of carbon in the ground tells me there was a lot of plants and trees. That was a tremendous amount, which means we had a lot more oxygen. And if you had a lot more oxygen, and if you had some humanoids, those humanoids are going to be pretty damn big. Based off experiments that I talked about at the University of Washington that I was there for when they took piranha out of the Amazon River, which is low oxygen, and put them in a highly oxygenated tank, and them damn things grew 4 to 5 times their size. Huge piranha. Little guys turned into a huge one based off the oxygen. And since we've got like 78% nitrogen now, which you have like maybe 20% oxygen left in our little area, at one time we had maybe 70% oxygen, then humans could have been huge. I mean, it could have been huge. So, and there's some evidence of huge. Oh, you got to take off.
No,
So
that's it.
Oh, okay. Huge humans. I mean, animals were twice the size. They were huge in this domy thingy. So they could have built them like Lincoln logs or blocks. Just pick them up and 2 guys, get behind me. It's like moving a piano, like 4 husky guys. Pick it up, move it over.
This guy wrote I watched so many documentaries about Egyptians. Death thought there was only 3 intact pyramids.
There was only 3. I took Egyptology an archaeology class at University of Washington, and believe me, there was just 3. I mean, you got
printing.
Yeah.
Yeah, printing back then.
You know what? That's on the table. I ain't gonna say no to that. There's some people that's talking about there's evidence. Now, I haven't seen this evidence, so I'm just going to present it to you. You guys can throw it away. They were talking about casting. Somebody said it was casting the stones. They're not real stones. They casted them like homemade cement. And some people said they cracked them. Some scientists, they're inside of them, there are little bits of shell and all. I mean, so they're not solid rocks. This is what people are saying. I haven't seen it. But yeah, they could have technically casted it. Or they could have been mud if they even went that far. They could have been mud blocks, easily to pick up and put in a place. Who knows? All I know is
good as a statue. If they would have made you as a statue right here, put your face right here with the beard.
Yeah,
I think that might be.
That's one. I'm a time traveler. I've got a Tardis, so I was there during that time. It used to be a lion. And then they carved it into a dog's face. It was symbolic for supposed to be me. But then I had them remove it all and make a man's face. So yeah.
Well, Bolt Gun is agreeing with you.
Well, yeah. I'd buy a fast. Yeah. So there's 1,000 different things. But again, there was a time when we had a lot of oxygen. Fact. If you had a lot of oxygen, you had larger species. Fact. If you had humanoids at that time, they'd be much, 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 much bigger.
Maybe, this person wrote, maybe the hobbits did it.
Maybe the hobbits did it. I was over there in Indonesia looking for hobbits. I've actually hunted for hobbits before. I can say that without lying.
So are you enjoying yourself, Sarah? Is this what you thought it's going to be like?
This is awesome. I love it. I'm learning so much, and it's awesome. So, yeah, thanks for having me. I'm just sitting here like, yep.
It's a lot to take in, but it's fun. It's fun research. It's all fun.
It's awesome.
That's what we do.
But I'm showing myself up. I'm not that clued up.
We're scientists. We just talk about things that we don't remember. That's all it is. There's no Mandela effect about it. I don't remember the canals, and maybe you do. I don't remember 6 pyramids. Maybe you do. I don't remember 3. And you said you're like there's 2, but you did not think of 6.
I didn't realize it. I certainly didn't think of 138. That was sure.
Okay, I would have learned about that somewhere. But yeah. So Eric, you got any more crazy things on that sidebar of yours with the questions?
Anybody in the chat, if you guys got a question, just write the letter Q and put in a question so I can see it, because there's so many people putting stuff in the chat. It's hard to recognize a question. Here we go. There is one right here. Plane drifters. Okay. Here we go. Do you remember Norway and Sweden being about 500 miles further north when you were a child?
Ooh,
well, any of us?
Question.
She's asking Saz chick, Sarah, because she lives near there. She lives in the UK.
To be honest, no, I don't. I don't. But yeah. But now remember, it's making me think, and I'm like,
yeah. Now remember, their education system is different than ours in the States. And a lot of different. Everybody's education
system. Rob, you were say PPL were bigger. That's easy for you to believe because I 100% believe in giants.
Yeah, I believe it. I worked at the Smithsonian. It was a pretty bit of a kind of a weird thing over there.
Here's a question: Have you heard of Benford's Law?
Benford's Law.
I'm gonna type that. I'm gonna type that into Google.
Take a look. Danny, look it up. Let's take a look. We're learning something. Let's find out.
Law.
But there's a lot of proponents for giants. A lot of evidence. A lot of shady stuff. I worked at Smithsonian Institute, and there's a lot of shady shit that went on there. A lot of hidden stuff.
Okay. Benford Law, also called the Newcomb Benford Law, the law of anomalous numbers. of the first digit. Law is observation about the frequency distribution of leading digits in many real-life sets of numerical data. If the digits were distributed uniformly, they would each occur about 11.1% of the time.
So
So what is the law used for? Benefit
probability.
law has been used to detect fraud in counting for some time, thanks in large part of the work of Professor Mark Negrini, whoever that is. The
Probability.
is most often used on an individual account basis, such as accounts payable to detect the over and under use of certain digits. That's like matrix kind of talk, isn't it?
No, that's just the law of probabilities. It's questioning probabilities. If something is coming up, the law of probability is like, okay, if Danny and I are playing a game of flipping a coin, and it lands on heads or tails, I mean, organically, what do you guys think? It might land on heads twice, and then it hit tails, and he flips it. It might hit tails twice. Then what? The law of probability is like if you hit it like 4 or 5 times in a row, and then the next time you keep doing it, it keeps hitting 5 times. Okay, wait a minute now. There's something wrong here, and it picks it up along a linear line of numerical values. It just sees the probability laws of like, this is bullshit. There's something, a red flag comes up on probabilities. I think that's before.
Those who don't believe in giants, look at the Sleepy Lady Mountain. Mind blown.
Yeah. Well, not because of conspiracy. I base it off science. I've seen the experiments done with piranha. They're vertebrates. They got vertebrates. We are vertebrates. We are a vertebrate family. If you got large amounts of oxygen, you're going to get bigger.
Well, it makes sense in a way, because if you take simple science, spiders in cities are actually bigger than the spiders out in the country, because country spiders eat the environment that's out there that's healthier, and spiders in the cities actually eat more junk that people leave out, and are eating like flies that eat more, and they become fatter and bigger. They adapt to the environment. So what you're saying is, if the environment has more oxygen, eventually you might get bigger. Or remember the movie Waterworld, where if eventually you water so long that you actually might develop scales. I mean,
you get oxygen from food too. I mean, it's got oxygen in it. So there's oxygen in this cantaloupe, people. So you get it from food too. So if you have an insect that's small that's eating volumes of food with more oxygen, it can get it from that too. That and radiation. And you have giant.
Too much evidence.
Well, that's my new excuse now. So if I put on weight, I've just got too much oxygen. That's my excuse.
Bob, maybe you think maybe the when dinosaurs were ruling the earth, they were so giant because maybe the oxygen was
different. It's because of the oxygen. So a lot of people are like, well, we're not proponents of dinosaurs. It don't have to be old. So maybe the dating is incorrect. I get the argument. I was in the field for certain types of dating records. Correct. You might have an argument with dating and carbon dating, but the fact is, anything small becomes big with high oxygen. And yes, it's feasible that these dinosaurs were huge because of the high oxygen content. 100%, 100%. Because it's a fact based off evidence. So, as a human, if all of a sudden we get these little chemtrails or whatever the fuck they want to call them, I think they're oxygen thingies producing oxygen. I see oxygen being produced. I think we're getting more oxygen. I think we're being saved.
Well, so here's another question, Bob, and this is for you, Bob. I'm not going to try to answer this one. This is more up your college alley here. Gypsy Road or anyone on the panel, anybody here can try to answer this. What do you think about space possibly being liquid helium-4? Bob, you take that one. I don't know.
I can wait.
It could be. It could be congealed gel, and we don't know. We haven't been there. I don't see the evidence of being there. I think it's possible. Why not? Why not helium? Because it floats, right? It depends on where it's at. It could be. I've never heard of helium-4, but I'm thinking more I'm thinking more of hydrogen. I'm thinking water and hydrogen. That's what I think is up there.
Helium
So
4. Let me type that in, 'cause what is that? I don't know either.
What's it? What or anyone on panel Q? What do you think about the space possibility? Yeah. Helium 4. I don't know. We don't know. Well, helium 4. It's not combustible, so it's safe. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hydrogen, or water, or something, or plasma. I don't know. We haven't been up there. I don't know. I don't believe we've been out in. I don't think they're able to get past a certain part based off evidence.
Man, I'm not into that kind of questions today. I don't want to do I don't want to do any round Earth, flat Earth talk on this.
That's actually my other half. So, yeah.
No.
He made a comment.
Yeah, it's a cylinder. I think it's a cylinder. I always tell people it's flat. I don't know, but it ain't round and it ain't flat. I think it's a cylinder, or it's a back of a turtle. We're on a big ass turtle with squares on it, with mountains moving in the water. It's moving through the waterways under a great big ocean, and it's following a dragon.
And people in the chat, Sara is a great guest. I don't want to lose her off going for the flat Earth and the round Earth question, because there's a lot of hatred on either side, whatever you pick on that answer. So we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, stay clear. Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
So, sir, you have any questions? Like any weird question? We're a weird question play. We're all paranormal stuff. So you got anything weird? Even in the horror industry, zombies. What do you think? Anything you want to ask? She's like, I don't know. It's a good thing.
I'm just like, ooh. I don't know really. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Nothing off the top of my head, but I'm just fascinated, and I've got a lot of homework to do now. And hopefully I can come back and then properly put my input in. Because at the moment I'm just like, yep, I'm listening. I'm taking it in.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about your canals. I'll just keep talking about our canals since Sara's here. Your water is orange. Your waters are really, really orange, which is high oxidized irons. So you've got rust water in your canals, which means they're coming from your underground tunnels. So you've got a lot of underground tunnels that I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it. There we go, zombies. There was some sort of cataclysmic flood here with mud. You've got a mud flood here. I saw the evidence for mud flood, and some other guys here in England saw the evidence for mud floods in this place, and they covered up a lot of tunnels. I'm like, and these waterways are coming from these underground tunnels. So there's a lot of tunnels under fucking Britain.
There's a simple question for Sara. Simple. Sara, where about in the UK are you?
Oh, shoot.
I'm in West Sussex. So for that map, I'm sort of bottom right, around there.
Where?
With the map. West Sussex,
East of London?
near southeast. Yeah.
Southeast of London. Okay.
Of London. I used to live near London Way, but too busy for me. I need it chilled out down here now. By the beach, it's fine.
D&H is from the UK.
Oh, brilliant.
Zombie. Can a zombie exist? Okay, here we go. Let's answer this question. Eric, can a zombie exist? Sara, do you think a zombie can exist in real life?
Zombie can exist.
Can it? How? I know how.
I mean, I'd say partly because it would still have to have some brain function. Obviously it's not, that person anymore, but yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated, like, how do they poop? That's the question that, like, they've got to eat. So where does it go?
This says here, real life zombies. A zombie takeover is science fiction, right? Well, it turns out some zombies already exist in nature and life. After brain death might not be so far-fetched.
Well, I mean, I'm a zombie before I've had coffee, but
there you go.
Yeah.
So Bob, tell us about why are there zombies?
I think there can be zombies because we have. Think of your blood. Okay, you have a bloodstream. You have veins. You have cells that flow, and then it distributes all the whatever it needs, like a major highways in your body, like highways. Now, imagine the concept of a mushroom. You guys know what mushrooms are, right? Mushrooms are amazing because they don't have veins. They pass on information from cell to cell. So any food or any liquid is always to cell. There's no veins in mushrooms. So if a human can all of it, like a virus takes over each and every cell, which is basically new DNA programming, anybody can be transformed into anything that attacks them. So if you got your body taken over by a certain virus, it reproduced in all your cells, your entire body becomes one big ass cell to cell, then you could be a walking fungus, and your body is just transmitting from cell to cell. So you don't need veins, you don't need a heart, you don't need anything to pump, because that's all it is a circulatory system. I mean, this is what we live off of, a circulatory system. But if you have a cell to cell system, then you're basically you're basically a mushroom with legs.
Well, Bob, there's zombie carpenter ants here.
Oh, I've seen those.
It says just 10 inches off the ground, carpenter ants can be found with their jaws permanently locked on a leaf, frozen in never-ending dance as an alien shot throws through their head. Wow. Yeah,
it's the cell to cell. It goes into their bodies, like exactly what I said, and it starts to take over their cells, and it goes cell to cell, like there's no more veins, and basically it's frozen. It's frozen.
Also known as the zombie and fungus.
Yeah, and it actually takes over their brain. It takes over their brain, and so now the fungus is in charge. The fungus is in charge of the.
It says the fungus first enters an anti-bloodstream as a single cells.
See, I thought that people with the Mandela effect had some fungus in their brain. I actually did. That's the first thing I thought. Or people who don't have the effect have fungus in their brain. And that's still possible. That's still possible because you had a lot of the outbreak. So everyone's wearing the masks. I was thinking, well, probably having people wear the masks because they don't want them getting the so whatever in the environment, whatever fungus is in the environment, it's getting into their heads and changing them into zombies. the fungus over. The fungus is taking over. Was it Shamahawk, that guy that made a movie about that? You guys remember that movie where the plants took over and they're being chased and then they have to stop because the plants were emitting something to causing them to go insane and kill each other, rip each other apart.
The Happening.
The Happening, yeah. Like The Happening. So maybe The Happening is happening. Maybe the plants are tired. They look at us as we're parasites, right? We're parasites on the planet. We're parasites on the planet.
That movie was That movie was horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't have saw it.
It stars Walt Maltberg. Is that famous director who did Sixth Sense? Was one of his movies. That
I like that. I like the concept of the plants taking over, man. I mean,
the concept of plants getting revenge on people, I like that concept.
Yeah.
We're parasites. We're killing the environment.
It's true.
We're killing the ocean. We're killing everything. Why would they not take revenge and put a virus in a floor?
But the ending was stupid. The ending had no twist, no nothing. The ending just shows, okay, now we're in the UK. Oh, it's happening over there now. That's my twist. That it's happening now in England. Okay, where's that Sixth Sense twist?
What's still on the table for me? It's still on the table. I'm not joking, man. For example, last night I sat outside. There was no wind, nothing. This is bullshit, guys. Don't take it to the bank. This is all bullshit, but it's just my observation, which is wrong. I sat on the steps. And there was no wind. And all of a sudden, when I sat down, there was wind blowing. It was just going to town. I was like, that's interesting. It feels cool. As soon as I got up to walk, and I turned around to face the door, the wind stopped. And I shut the door again, and I turned back around, and I sat back down, and the wind was blowing again. The trees were going everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I get to the beginning of the steps, and I go to the door, and the wind stops.
I think we got a real question here. It's for Sarah and me, I guess. Sarah, me, do you think this world will ever be like the Walking Dead program?
Good question, guys.
I mean,
that is a damn good question because, if the way the world is acting like what kind of virus we have now is if there's another virus I'm not saying the virus is real or fake, people, but if this is how we're acting with the virus that technically only killing a percentage of 2% of the world, if something else comes out that's maybe more 30 to 40% that's killing people in the world, where the countries are almost we're not collapsing, but people are losing their jobs to collapse. If we get a virus that's even stronger, we're gonna be the Walking Dead. Because how we're acting like now. Imagine a virus where you actually do go outside and do see some people on the streets. We're just gonna collapse, and it's gonna be like the Walking Dead without the zombies because if the whole world economy collapses, right? People don't understand. If the world economy collapses, it's going to be hillbillies thinking they're going to run this country. It's going to be think that
England.
We don't need a president. We got us now, boy. Come on, Daryl. Hey, Daryl. Hey, cousin Daryl. Get your weapons. We're going to take over this country. That will happen if the economy collapses. So if we ever get something that's supposed to be stronger than this, we're screwed because we're not handling what's going on now properly.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead, yes, can easily happen.
All right, Sarah, you're
Gypsy Road. I have to dash work calls. Okay. No, I have to dash work calls. It's wonderful meeting our lovely English lady. And if I could say, my 2012 North American Atlas and Google Earth are constantly in flux. Okay. And Robert, are you in the UK again?
Oh, yeah, I'm up in the UK area.
Okay, man, London.
I don't want to give away my exact area, but yes, I'm in the UK. Up much more towards Scotland.
Okay, Manchester?
No, I'm outside of Manchester. I got kicked out.
Okay. Manchester's airport is buku important. Buku important, okay? I just want to say that. Gypsy Road, I want one last thing to say, right? Okay? Evil Dead and Army of Darkness warm my heart. Bruce Campbell is the greatest smart. He is such a good smart ass. He does it on two sides of the Milky Way galaxy, right? And I just love those movies, man. You guys, everybody, I look forward to everything you got. Robert, I got to keep in touch with you in chats. Vision thing. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gypsy Road. Work calls.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Danny.
Bye.
Okay.
And, people don't talk about that. The Evil Dead series on Stars was actually pretty damn good. It was sad that they canceled that series, but that was a goddamn good series of Evil Dead on Stars. That was great. I wish it wasn't canceled. But hey, Sarah's turn to answer that wonderful question.
Idea with the Walking Dead for reals.
I mean, it'll be easier to see because then you can spot who to avoid. At the moment, it's kind of like dash out, come back in. Oh my god, But yeah, I agree with what you were saying that if the economy does eventually sort of fall. I mean, we're having arguments over toilet roll, so God knows what's going to happen. But yeah, it could very well possibly happen. I would love to say I would be prepared, but I think I would.
People are fighting over toilet paper, and we're not even. Listen, one person dying is one too many. But if we're fighting over toilet paper with this small percentage amount, imagine a bigger percentage. Oh my god!
Yeah.
You have to go to that movie, Demolition Man, and learn how to use the 3 shells because there's going to be no more toilet paper on Earth.
Yeah, it's Sara knows it was bad here too. There was a toilet paper madhouse here too. It was bad.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, you can't get no toilet paper. Shit. Wait, line. You go to Costco, there's a line around the corner for toilet paper. They were bringing in one pallet. They take one. Everyone gets like, I think you get two. You get two bundles, and the next forklift brings one and drops it off. Like, this is like rations, man, in like a horror movie. This is toilet.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Shit.
And then, what I'm starting to do now, in the middle of the show, I'm going to start playing a 1-minute video of our good friend. You find it. I love this. I love this old guy. He was on our channel. He's an awesome guy. He's called Grandpa's World. And Grandpa's World does these 1-minute, 2-minute videos about aliens or whatever it is. So every show now, in the middle of the show, I'm going to play you guys one of his videos on UFOs. And the one we're going to play today is a UFO and helicopters. So I'm going to pop this up. This is just fun. I love this guy. He loves telling these small, short stories, and I want to hear his story. So let me go here. Let me pop it up. Let me get the volume all the way up.
Popcorn.
Grandpa's World, and I'm Grandpa. Today we're going to do more California UFO sightings. Today's Charles and Camelia's story. Charles and Camelia observed the craft. They were so close to it that they both knew it was not man-made. It was around 8 o'clock. They were standing outside smoking. It was a clear, beautiful night. The stars were shining and the moon was bright. They noticed that a lot of helicopters were coming into the area where they were. The helicopters seemed to be hovering. Camelia saw a light behind the tree, told Charles, and he thought the helicopter might fly into the tree, and then the pilot would get hurt. Well, the couple started walking just as the craft swooped around the tree and hovered right above them, maybe just 10 feet above their heads. No propellers, no wings, no wind, only the slightest noise of humming. They were looking through the window of the craft, trying to get a look at the driver or anyone inside. The alien inside the craft saw the couple, had spotted him, and leaned back in surprise. They described it as being a male with a long face, cat-like eyes, and a cat-like expression, and as being quite attractive. Well, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like.
That's our good friend from Grandpa's World. I love the guy. He always has like a minute video, and I thought I was going to play one of his videos now, like on every show in the middle of the show. They're just a minute. So Bob, what do you think what he said about the UFO in California that they actually saw through the ship window, and the aliens actually saw them too? So what do you think of that?
My theory is that they're interdimensional. Remember, I always say that. Obviously, they're not coming from the water up there, whatever the hell. I know they're coming in. I know it for a fact. I know how to manipulate things. So they're definitely coming in from a line, a dimension, but they're coming in at a certain speed, a certain frequency, and they're getting here and they're adjusting their frequency where you could see them. I know that in the probabilities of a human in different various whatever environments, if you were to wipe out the human race, you still have reproductive cells. As long as you have stem cells, you could reproduce. So an anthropologist and I talked about it at university. We joked about it. What would they be? And you would have a female, because female every fetus is a female first until it gets. So everybody was a woman to start off with. Ladies are all happy. Everybody starts off with a female, even the man. And then until you get the male hormone, then you become a male. There's a thing called Klinefelter syndrome. Those you know what Klinefelter syndrome is, when a male has an Y and XX, which means he has an extra chromosome for a woman, which he's basically a man-woman. But anyway, that's off the subject. But anyway, they would be female. And so the way they describe these grays, or whatever the hell you call them, they're little underdeveloped grown-up fetuses that had evolved. They grew to a certain point, and now they're walking and thinking. But they're number one. They fit the description as a little female, which would be a little matured fetus to whatever adult stage they would be considered at that time to come out, and they would have a hive mind because they would be from the same stem cells. So it's like having twins. So how twins can think with it, like two twins can think. I know what you're wearing. I know what I'm wearing. You know, they can think from each other. They can actually. So if you have things from the same stem cells, literally you have twins. So you have little gray twins running around. They can think. They can all hive mind each other. They can all read each other's minds, like little bio robots. I mean, they would. You know, they would have maybe one, like a one queen celled person that would send her whatever thought process out to the other ones, and they would just little minions would do the little minions jobs. If they're flying little interdimensional ships, then they're flying interdimensional. Oh, this is vibrating particles. You could use a certain thing to get through, easy to get through time and space. So yeah, that's what aliens are to me. It fits the description of what you would have if you were to grow a clone, an underdeveloped little fetus clone. It just stayed a female. It never matured into a male or anything. It still has an unusable reproduction system that's not usable. And so only way they reproduce is through cells. So they take them from humans and they use human cells. Or they use females as reproduction vessels. So they can have hybrids and they can have their goal is to get one of them to be able to reproduce. So maybe they're trying to make the ultimate new queen.
I mean, a lot of people have different opinions. You know, like this guy says, no aliens, they're demons only. Okay.
That too. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, if they're doing you harm, they're demons.
You know, I'm going to be playing a Grandpa's World little minute clip. Just, I love the guy. I respect him. I think he has a fun little channel. You get stories within 1 minute, 2 minutes, and you're done. I like it. Sarah, I know you're talking about California, Sarah, but how do you feel about UFOs and aliens? Do you think it's possible, in your opinion? I personally believe in UFOs and aliens do come here from other planets. I believe in that. So I do truly believe in it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's something out there. I don't think we're on our own, as it were. I can't back that up with anything, but I definitely think there's something there. But can't put my finger on what. But yeah, no, I definitely believe that something could. Yeah, we're definitely not alone.
What's
that?
People are saying aliens being we in the future or just demons? Aliens being we in the future or just demons? I don't know. I mean, have both. It's possible to be a demon, but I don't think because you hear people saying they saw an alien and an alien's not killing them or hurting them. I would think if an alien is a demon, they're there to put harm to you.
Well, I got that.
I heard stories about aliens too.
I got that mark on my arm. Well, they took flesh out. They replaced it. They gave me a skin plug. I have a tattoo. It's dark. And there's a circle white dot, like they had removed flesh and put it. Now, I looked at it real close, and there's a person I know has a relative that's a doctor, and I said, can you look up my arm so I don't feel crazy? And that person says, no, you don't got one dot. I go, oh, I don't know. You got three. Huh? There's three. I didn't know it. There's three. Is it a triangle? There's three dots where they had put. There's three white dots. One of them just happens to be in the tattoo. That's why I saw it. It's a white dot in the black tattoo. So there's three dots in a triangle on my arm. I didn't do it.
Here's a fair statement. How do we know these aliens from outer space might got their own religion too? Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Nobody knows. It's all a best guess scenario.
Yeah, everyone angry. Nobody knows unless you've had a conversation with them. And even if you did, you probably don't remember it. They wiped your memory out.
Yeah. Taurus and being from other dimensions or extra ET. Yeah, they could be people from other dimensions. Could be some kind of wormhole time travel too? I mean, I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, right?
And so, yeah, I know it's possible.
If
So, yeah.
any one of us had all the answers, I don't even think we'd be doing a show, right? Because why do a show if we had all the answers?
Well, there is a fact.
Be a very short show.
Yes, exactly.
There is an end date. There is an end date to every living thing on this. There is an end date. There is an end date to every living creature in existence. And whatever God you claim, there's an end date. So if you have an intelligent creature that has an end date, they're going to stop that end date. They're going to do everything they can to not end on that end date. Everybody has one, or every creature has one. An extinction date is there. I mean, it's this fact. You don't live forever as an organic whatever. There's going to be an end date. So they're going to have to do something on the end date. So if they have to they can't reproduce anymore, they're going to reproduce another way. They're going to do it through stem cells, and they're going to make clones. I think, Eric, you're a clone. You've got clone eyes. You've got limbic rings on your eyes. Really? I think everyone's a clone. Everyone's a replicant. To me, everyone's a replicant of their former self, because I'm from another dimension. I'm from Sagittarius Arm. You guys are from Orion Spur. You have different eyes than me.
Okay. I'm a clone.
You're a clone.
I didn't know I was a clone.
Yeah. But Eric, I'm going to tell you right now, man, you're really cool, though. I hung out with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hung out. You're a cool dude even over there on the other side. You're the exact same guy. You're almost identical. Almost.
Okay.
We share almost the same stories. It's kind of cool.
I'll tell you what else is cool. If you guys ever want to hear those bad jokes that are just funny, but they're so bad they're funny, like stupid kind of cool sayings, you guys should go to the Saz Chick's channel. And in her last stream, you guys are talking about like stupid comments that people come up with, like picking up girls or something. It was like so dumb lines, but they're funny as hell. So you guys should check that out. Yeah, she did a last stream. They were having people come up with like stupid lines that she did on purpose. And
it's just my channel's very much chilled out, forget all the shit that's going on, and I don't take myself very seriously. It's just kind of chill out, talk about anything and everything. I call it a Walking Dead chat, but it always varies. Talks about everything else. And yeah, we were doing weird pickup lines and dad jokes and stuff like that. So
if you want to find out a good line, you guys should watch it.
Can we see? I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see that. I love good pickup. Wait, it was a good. Every line I know has been used, so I can't use it anymore. Did it hurt? Did it hurt?
I think it's a question. This person wrote, "What about alien abduction stories? That sounds harmful to me."
Yeah, it's painful.
Well, actually, I don't know what alien abduction stories actually sounds harmful to you, because I don't know what's your limit of an abduction story. But there's so many abduction story. Like they say, if you smell smoke, there's usually a fire behind it somewhere. So, but all these abduction stories, are all of them could be fake? Well, yeah, I guess every single one could be fake. But what if one or two are not fake?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Who knows?
Hold on. Sarah, do you smell smoke?
No. Are you McDonald's? Because I'm loving it.
I want to say, Eric, you smell smoke? It's so hot. There's a new one. Okay, cool. I got a new one.
No, so let's go back to Mandela effect. Sarah, what do you know about the word Mandela effect in the first place? You know what the definition of it means, or anything of it by any chance?
My understanding of the Mandela effect is it's a collection of sort of false, say something that you were adamant that you knew, say this shirt is red, but I could look back at pictures from a week ago and I was wearing a blue shirt. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my understanding of, I'm not very good at explaining things.
Oh no,
Am I on the right track? Is that kind of
everybody has different definitions. I mean, if you go with Google, the Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. Looking at the origin of the Mandela effect, some famous examples as well as some potential explanations of the strange confluence of perception can help shed the light. Now, basically, like Eric's saying, they're trying to say it's not real, but some people say it is real. And of course, it's up to your opinion what's real. I mean, like Bob's saying, some people have different memories. Like now, the most are you, Sarah? Would you call yourself like a big movie fan of science fiction by any chance, or anything like Star Wars? Would you call yourself a huge Star Wars fan, or you never really watched it?
I haven't watched all of them, so I wouldn't know a lot about Star Wars. But
maybe you've heard this in the movie Empire Strikes Back. You know, the second original Star Wars, when Darth Vader was fighting Luke, Darth Vader made a comment to Luke about being a father. Do you remember that scene? Like what Darth Vader said to Luke about being his father by any chance?
Luke, I am your father.
Okay. Well, right there. Right there. Luke, I am your father. Okay, right there. Now there is a Mandela effect on that because I remember, I love Star Wars. I grew up with it. Star Wars was the first movie I ever saw in the theaters. So I have a special heart for it. I remember myself, Darth Vader telling Luke, I am your father. Now, in the real, I'm not saying real world, in the world that we live in now, because I don't want to say it's fake or not, but the world we live in now, Darth Vader never said, Luke, I am your father. He never said that. If you look it up now, Darth Vader says, no, I am your father. He never said the word Luke. But a lot of us remembers that. Now, some people say we're just misremembering it, the memory. Now, could have, but then it's hard to explain why do most pop culture, most people on this planet, if you take a quiz on a percentage of this planet, I guarantee 75% of the people are going to say Luke. Nobody's going to say, only 20% might say the word no, because they already think Mandela's effect, fake and all that. So the question is, who's right and who's wrong? If it did change, why?
And mine's different than everybody's. All my memories are different than everybody's. So mine was no, you were my dumpster baby. Yeah, and nobody has that memory. Nobody has that memory. He's like, no, and he's like, no, you're my dumpster baby. But nobody remembers that.
You know, and here's one that's a major Mandela effect in Star Wars that I see different than most people themselves. Now C-3PO, we all know C-3PO. Do you remember C-3PO as being all gold, or do you remember C-3PO having a silver leg?
I remember all gold.
Now, majority of the people remembers C-3PO being all gold also. All gold. But technically, in true story life, C-3PO does have a silver leg.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he didn't.
They forgot to spray paint that bit.
Now, most people will say he's all gold. Now, for me, I actually remember the silver leg. Doesn't mean we're both right or wrong. 75% of the people remember all gold. I remember the silver leg, and I feel like I can explain why it looks like it's all gold because of the camera work they used. Now George Lucas cleans up his films, and of course, the true color of the silver comes out. But it doesn't mean I'm wrong. You're right. 75% of the people believe that C-3PO was all gold, but now he does have a silver leg. Oh, can I tell this? Over the weekend, this is why I'm happy. Over the weekend, we went to the Goodwill thrift store downtown Seattle, and I found 3 Star Wars coins.
Dude, scored
at a thrift store.
Dude.
And you know, and I got this for $5. Okay, this is worth over $50 now. I got this at a thrift store. This is a cool find for me. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's a cool find for me. But But basically, what we just talked about is basically the simple terms of what a Mandela effect really is. We have one memory, and there's another. Now, some could be explained. Some are harder to explain. You probably never watched the Roger Moore James Bond movie. You probably saw the modern James Bond movies, but by any chance, have you ever followed the Roger Moore James Bond movies?
I've seen. I can't remember the name of it now.
Have you seen Moonraker?
Some of them.
Have you seen the movie?
Sorry?
Have you seen Moonraker by any chance?
No, I haven't.
See, for me, what got me to think, is Mandela real or not? In the movie Moonraker, there's a famous villain guy named Jaws. He has all the silver teeth. And there was a scene where he kind of falls in love with this young, probably underage girl named Dottie. Now, this villain likes nobody, but he likes this girl. Now, when I watched this movie, this girl smiles. And I remember this Dottie person have braces on. And that's the only reason why he liked her, because he had all metal teeth. Now, Bob goes, dude, Bob told me one day, dude, Dottie doesn't have braces anymore.
God.
You don't have braces anymore. That's the only reason why this evil villain liked her. And I remember braces like there's no tomorrow. And Bob showed me a picture. She had no braces on. I'm like, how's that possible? So everybody has their personal one that you just can't explain it for yourself. There's no right or wrong. Maybe she never did have braces on. But that's just weird. That was weird for me.
Well, how many states do you remember the United States has? There's no wrong answer.
She's not from the United States.
They know over here. How many do you remember?
50.
Okay, so that's the current one. Yeah, currently is 50.
Yeah.
Some people in Britain were telling me 54. I was like, 54? And then some Canadians said 54. I said, no, it's in my timeline, it was 52, but they were right about 54 because they were counting the 52 plus the two Puerto Rico and the other one. Oh, so that's why they taught 54 in England. They taught 54 in Canada, and the other countries are all saying 54. And then now it's only ever been 50. Ever 50. So you're correct on that. Only ever been 50. But Eric, here's one today. I got an English person today on this one, and they said no. I said, yeah, no. Now, Eric, I'm gonna get you on this one, Eric. I probably don't remember. And
I'm showing people in the chat remembering the braces. While you tell the story, I'm just showing everybody remembers braces.
Do you remember Franklin D. Roosevelt? Do you remember Franklin D. Roosevelt?
Yeah, your middle name is after him.
Well, it's mine's after Theodore. Theodore Roosevelt, but it's still related. They're still related. So Franklin D. Roosevelt. Now you probably don't remember this. Do you guys might remember D? What does the D stand for? And Franklin D. Roosevelt. And look it up though. Start typing it in right now because you need to see this.
Okay.
So Sarah, do you remember Franklin? You probably don't. He's an American president. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Sidebar, you guys 52. So, sidebar, you guys remember Franklin D. Roosevelt? Put down what you remember about what the D is. What's the D stand for? It's the middle name. How do you remember? Someone put it on there. I already put it on there. Yeah, that's the new one. I don't remember. That's the one I was laughing about today.
Delano. That's his name now. Delano. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. That's what
I know. It was Delano. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt for me. Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Now it's called Delaware. Delanero.
Yeah, Delanero is the O on it. Now it
equals Dutch bag.
Douchebag, correct. That's a good one. Franklin, douchebag effect. Yeah. I have a douchebag. I always call it the douchebag effect. I like that better. And so I'm doing a running hypothesis on some shit. And again, people, don't take me seriously. Don't take it to the bank. Throw it away. If you don't think this way, it's better for you. But what I'm noticing is, and only in my crazy mentally ill head, is that we seem to have a female to male switch and everything.
What's your wife's name? Because somebody wrote Salted Cedar wrote what's
that was her. Delanor was okay. In Latino cultures, they take the wife's last name and put it into their name. Same thing with Mexicans and a lot of Latinos will take the mom's maiden name and incorporate it into the full name. So Delanor, or now it's Delanor. I don't even know how to say it. Delanoro was now his mother's, Franklin's mother's last name, the maiden name of his mother. So Delanoro is now his mother's. That's why he has it in the middle. But what I'm figuring out is, for example, I talk about avocado. Avocado was an A in my timeline. Now it's an O, so it's a masculine. It's male. You have avocado, which was grandma. Now it's grandpa. It's a male. A lot of things like I remember checkmating the queen, and in this place, it's always been the king. It's male. And now look at Franklin Delano. It's a feminine, and now it's Delanoro. O is masculine now. So everything's switching to me from feminine to masculine in this place for me. Only me. I'm mentally ill, so don't fucking judge me. Let's be judged. So it's switching from, and even to me, even its Statue of Liberty used to be very feminine looking. Now it looks like a male. I'm like, everything's going from feminine to male in this place. Just to me. That's how I'm looking at the linguistics of things. I could be wrong. Some people maybe back me up on this, start looking at names and go, wait a minute, I'll switch into males. Yeah.
Now, one thing we always say, Sarah, on the show is, anytime you hear something that there could be a change, you need to always do your own research and make your own mind, because not everything is true and stuff. Because now there's a lot of false shows out there. For example, like a lot of people will say word changes, like that was changed to the, or a certain name was changed. Now, if I look up 1,000 articles, I guarantee out of 1,000 articles, I'm going to find 5 or 6 misspelled words.
CGI.
Some of these false shows will only show you the articles with the false shows and say, look, why does this person write this way? So I always say, always research on different people, different things.
Books.
Not everything. People make up this. This might shock you, Sarah. A lot of people make up fake Mandela effects just to
really?
Yes, just to get views on channels. So that's why I don't even go look for residue, because the residue I find could be fake. So it's like a belief system, like paranormal. It's a belief system. It might be true, it might not, but for me, it might be true to me. Doesn't mean
individual. Yeah. Well, she'll remember vampire movies. She's a woman. She knows vampire movies. Werewolf guy, but you remember vampires. So there's a famous movie with a vampire, and it's Brad Pitt, and it's also got not Tom Cruise, but was it Tom? Yeah, Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. Do you remember that vampire movie?
I gotta pause you for a second. Just gotta let Sarah know. Joey Rucka is in the chat. He likes to talk about people's balls. So when you're seeing everybody talking about balls in the chat, because Joey Roca likes everybody's balls for some reason. This is not a porno channel. It's just Joey Roca's in the house, and he likes to talk about balls. Okay, Bob, continue. Just give you a disclaimer.
Do you remember Brad Pitt being in a vampire movie?
Say that again?
There's a vampire movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Interview with the Vampire.
Say it again?
Interview with the Vampire.
Okay. Interview with the Vampire. Okay. I remember Interview with a Vampire.
A vampire, yeah.
Here, let me go to IMDb. Let me type it in. Let me find out what's the actual
Vampire. Now it's Interview with the Vampire. Now, to me, the A is feminine, and it's now gone to a masculine, which is the.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so everyone's saying, well, where's the and the A is gone? I go, because one of them is an A is feminine and one of them is masculine.
Yeah.
Well, in my decoding brain, which is mentally ill, I see things going from from a feminine to a masculine. You checkmated the queen in my time, and now you checkmate the king. So it's going it's going from feminine to masculine.
It is officially called Interview with the Vampire, the Vampire Chronicles.
Used to be A, and Interview with a Vampire. A lot of women remember that one as A.
See, I remembered it as the. I don't remember the A. So, like I said, everybody has different memories.
Thing.
Yeah. Fantastic movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. See, it's just trying. I'm just trying to demonstrate. I'm using it to demonstrate the A's and the the. So why is this a the and then this is an A? Because one of them's feminine and one of them's masculine. Another one is interview with a ball. There you go.
Is that feminine or masculine? You know, could be both.
That's funny. Okay, so the Bible. Do you remember the lion shall lay with the lamb, or was it the wolf shall lay beside the lamb?
See, I'm not religious. I can never answer.
He's not. You don't have. Yeah. Exactly. Don't sweat it. See, so I'm using an example because to me, a lion is feminine and a wolf is masculine. So that switched from and I've talked about it with another British person. I said, before I said that question, I said, what do you consider? I'm going to give you two animals or a set of animals. You tell me which one's masculine, and which one you consider feminine. Do a switch. So I had a bunch of people do a survey. They always said that a cat or a feline. I put feline. A feline was always considered feminine. And they always say a dog, or a wolf, whatever, is always considered masculine. So I go, okay, then it proves my point that now the Bible has went from feminine to masculine. Feminine to masculine. So if you look at the New Bible's changes, that so-called, I use a disclaimer, so-called changes, people don't know that. It's to me went from feminine to masculine. Because now it talks about virgins and penis sizes and poo-poo and pee-pee and all kinds of, it's all guy stuff. The Bible has changed to masculine now. And we switched from feminine to masculine. Again, it's a running theory that I have for myself. I haven't run across anybody. It could be wrong. Most likely 99.9% it is wrong. So don't take it seriously. But I'm from feminine to masculine. Or no, from feminine to masculine. Yeah.
Well,
everything masculine.
This is how passionate some people are about their belief. Look at this one. I know for sure because when I was a kid and my dad was in prison, he sent me a letter recommending interview with a vampire and spoke a lot about it, which led me to read it and watch the movie. Okay.
Yeah. The A is feminine and then went to a masculine. So now it's the vampire.
He wrote Lion and the Lamb. I'm sure somebody didn't write Lion and the Balls.
Lion and the Lamb.
Jump on that one.
Felines and wolves are masculine. So it depends on what side of the fence you're going to be on. Are you going to be a masculine side or a feminine side? I don't know what the answer is to that. So
fire and burning hands. What's up with that?
Ooh, there's huge. Well, there's Saudi Arabia's underwater. There was a volcano just exploded. Nobody's talking about it in BBC, especially BBC.
Okay.
Indonesia had a huge volcano just explode.
Sometimes I wish that Gypsy Road was me and I was him. If I was Gypsy Road, I'd interview me. Oh, I thought he was talking about his balls.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that actually is happening today. Not just that fire. I don't know if you guys heard this, but in the United States, and Bob, you and I used to live in Maryland, next to that stupid city that I hate, not DC.
LA?
No. In Maryland, the state of Maryland. God damn it.
District of Columbia, Maryland,
Washington D.C., the other city that Baltimore. 3 houses actually exploded today in that city. A gas leak. Yeah, three houses actually had an explosion today. So fires, explosions. It's a weird day about fires and explosions.
Well,
I'm not trying to make fun of it, but it's a weird news day.
There was a big volcano just erupted in Indonesia. It's covering a whole area. Here we go.
What is this? Hey, Gypsy Bob, you are on to something. There is definitely an internolious agenda that starts with breaking down masculinity.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, anything that was feminine is now becoming masculine. In the words, so go back and look at each word it changes that you think have changed and might not have changed for everybody. And look at if it's a masculine or it's a feminine. Here we go.
Gypsy Road balls wear black cowboy satin boots. Hey Joey, this Wednesday we're doing a Matrix show. I got some Matrix people coming on, so if you want to jump on real quick on that, to give you a little message, that's fine. Just jump on Wednesday. Yeah, this Wednesday we're having a Matrix show. We got a new guy coming on the channel. His name is David. I don't know exactly who he is, but he's friends with the Matrix Unveiled. So we're going to be diving deep into some more Matrix on the show this Wednesday, just so everybody knows. So if you're into Matrix stuff, which some people say Matrix is the Mandela effect, it's just a modern day that younger people call Mandela effect. They call it the Matrix. So that's always a fun show about the Matrix.
Yeah, but Joey, you got to make sure you learn how to make sure you wordsmith it, which means keep it to a tone. You know what I'm saying? But you got to keep it to a tone, Vato. You got to keep it to a tone, Vato. You know what I'm saying? Let's not
right now, YouTube is, like I said, YouTube is now forcing people to be banned in people's chats and all that. So YouTube is really cracking down even more now. Not because it's not just all YouTube's fault. It's the government the government just fined YouTube again like $30 to $70 million. No company like to lose money, so sometimes they don't tell you. They don't tell you this, but these companies don't really pay the whole $37 million. So like if YouTube gets fined $70 million, behind the scenes, YouTube will say, "Hey, we'll crack down on this. We'll cut these people out, and they'll get to pay less." They don't tell you that part. I have a friend who works for a federal government, says that this is why these companies crack down on certain things, is because they made a deal with the government to pay less. They just don't tell the public because they don't want bad press.
Yeah, well, Joey knows how to wordsmith it into a nice way. Like we had a homosexual older brother that's dead. He passed away from his whatever, he was becoming a woman. Now, Eric and I make jokes, but we keep it to a point where we're not insulting the gay community. We make jokes and criticism, but we do it in a satire, or as the Britons say, we take the piss out of things in a humorous way. We keep it toned. We got to wordsmith it. So Joey's just practice wordsmithing it so it's not going to insult anyone. But you make a statement at the same time. So people, we take everybody on. We don't discriminate against anybody's opinion. We want to hear everybody's, but just wordsmith it in a nice way. We can do that.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't care about people's movements. I don't want to be that channel about movements. I want people to come here to get away from all that, to have fun. So it's not like I'm trying to hide from people's messages and movements. It's just I don't want to be that channel for that. I want people to have fun.
And have an intellectual statement of how to say it. Just a nice, comfortable way where you have both sides in the argument and everyone's happy with it. No one's walking away angry.
Yeah, I like this. I like this guy right here. Yeah, we can't see more than around 25 frames per second. So when they use these movies and other things at 60 FPS, they insert evil subliminal things in the space we don't recognize, but our subconscious. Now, he's not completely wrong, because listen, I'm from the cable world. I'm from where we launch HD, 720, 1080. There's only so much your eyes can see. Okay, so now the new thing is 4K. 4K is the new thing. It's the most clearest thing there is. Now the next generation is going to be 5K, but your eyes can only see so much. So when they're saying they're going to 1080 to 4K to 5K, they're manipulating on what they're really giving you, because they're making things sound better and stronger, but all they do is sharpen the color green better. They sharpen the color red better, so it looks a little more clear. You're not seeing anything higher resolution because your eyes can't see that much high resolution. So don't, when certain movie says, "Oh, we're going to put this movie out at 60 minutes, minute speed, that's going to make it look sharper." No, not really. They're just sharpening a scene to make a color better. It's a trick in the cable world to trick you to pay for you to pay more for an extra $10 instead of HD. We're going to give you 4K. Now, seriously, put a 10K and put a 4K and put a 1080p movie next to each other. Now, can there be a difference? There could be a difference. That's because the company did a change to a scene to make it look better than this. There's not better resolution because your eyes can't see more. So what he is saying is correct. They're just faking it so they make more money off of you to pay more money for higher resolution. But just
they're putting little secret snips you guys can't see in there. You can't. There's a certain frequency of light you can't see. Now, I've got medical problems, and these are actually medical glasses. These are from the VA, the Veterans Administration. These are medical. These aren't cool. I was like, "Why do you wear the cool sunglasses?" Like, are you kidding me? I'm blind as a bat. I'm like Geordi on Star Trek. This is how I live. This is
now.
It's night here.
I have 20/20 eyes. I have 20/20 eyes, so I just do the
But he got bad ears. He got bad ears. He got bad eyes.
You got bad eyes. You got bad ears.
I got my Jordan back. I get to see all this stuff that people can't see in certain frequencies of light. I'm like, cool.
Let me ask some final questions because we're getting close to our 2-hour mark. We're usually in 2 hours. So, Sara, so you being like a producer with Viz,
that's awesome.
And like Viz saying, nobody's getting paid to do any of this. Why take time and do it, Sara? Why do you even want to be a producer and spend time? What's in it for you in a lot of ways?
Well, I came across Viz's channel back in the day. He was doing some giveaways, Walking Dead, and obviously, tattoos and everything. I'm a fan of The Walking Dead, so and just kind of got in the chats, chatting away, and it became a running joke that I was kind of the Walking Dead encyclopedia for him. So he'd always ask me sort of questions and I'd type it in the chat. And very kindly asked me if I wanted to sort of join the team as a producer. And it's just kind of like a proud parent moment. I've seen him go from sort of under 1,000 subs to now, 16,000 plus. And it's kind of like, I remember,
It is.
I can
see it. It's fun.
Again, don't get paid for anything, and I just like supporting people like you guys. I love watching your show when I can, and I just like supporting good people. So
it is hard to watch so many shows. There's so many shows out there. It is time consuming to watch every show. I mean, it's just almost impossible. No, I agree with you. Sometimes it's just fun, but I gotta learn on how Viz does it because I have nobody helping me out. I want to learn what he does. So I can get myself producers.
It's my fault. You should see how many emails I get. If it wasn't for if you got off the show, Eric would go up. I'm like, what the fuck? He was doing so bad. I'm like, God damn. Okay.
If you ever need a hand, I'll be more than happy to help out if I can.
Viz is smart. He gets people to help him like, but the thing is, Viz does it 7 days a week.
Gosh,
I mean, that's a lot of
every day.
I mean, for us now, we kind of went 5 days a week now.
5 days a week. I do it 6.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday is these kind of shows, these 2-hour kind of shows about whatever we want. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do horror talk where we just pick out a horror movie. Like tomorrow, guys, if anybody's interested, tomorrow we're talking about the movie The Exorcist.
Yes!
Oh, brilliant.
If any of you are Exorcist fans, or I'm going to type in my email address here, people.
Yes.
truth.news@gmail.com. And the link is already up for tomorrow. The link's already up. So if any of you who love The Exorcist and wants to come on and tell us about why you love it, send me an email, and before the show, I'll send you a link. But the criteria is you have to watch the movie. You can't say you love it, you come on and you give nothing. I want people the horror talk is not really a show that I do guest on, but if you truly love that movie, you let me know and I'll have you on. Kind of like Viz came on when we talked about zombies.
Yeah.
in about 2-3 weeks, Viz is actually coming back on to talk about paranormal activity movies.
Yes.
So if any of you love The Exorcist and wants to be on, now Joey, it's The Exorcist talk. It's not BLM talk. So
Exorcist talk. Movies only, dude. Only.
Hey guys, even if you're not a horror fan, there's people that watch. They're not horror fans, but they all have a fantastic and great time. So that's all about having a great time. So if you love horror talks, come on, be a friend, join us.
And that's the farthest we go for like the biblical stuff because we don't. Eric and I like the beast movies, the slashers, the zombies, the monsters. We don't really go in that direction. But The Exorcist was one of the ones that started it. Their intentions wasn't to take it that far, but it was just what it was with the director and everything. So we like that one. Other than that, we don't go down.
I gotta read this. I refuse to watch The Exorcist. I still want to come on and talk about Gypsy Rose balls.
Okay, good. Yeah, as far as we go,
I think Joe and I could be friends. He sounds like my kind of person.
Maybe my balls are possessed. I don't know. Maybe they are possessed.
You probably do have I can see that, man. You need an exorcism on your balls. You need holy. You need to teabag some holy water.
Yeah.
Saw from the Earth, 1969. There will be a day that we are going to talk about the movie Saws. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
I'm not going to say Saws are my biggest love of the movies. I like the first Saw, but I kind of didn't like none of the other ones. But,
like the first one.
There is going to be a day we're going to talk about Saw. We are. I try to spread out the bigger movies, spread them out. I don't want to do every single episode all about the big movies because that's, I don't know, it feels like I'm a sellout to the smaller ones because there's so many great small movies like Eight-Legged Freaks, Night of the Olympus, movies like those that people don't see. I want you to hear about them. I want you to watch them. So that's why I don't just do all big movies. My last one was about Halloween. Loved it. And Bob, Bob, I didn't tell you this. I don't know if you saw this, Bob. We talked about Michael Myers' Halloween 5, where the mask looks like Zuckerberg. Well, I found articles that the guy who created the mask actually was creating the mask for Data. So it was designed under Data for Star Trek. I actually found that out. Now he looks more like Mark Zuckerberg than Data, but the mask was actually created behind the actor who played Data.
Okay. It was a switch. It was a flip of a coin. Somebody said
Halloween 5 came out before Facebook, so I mean,
I like your video though. I like your video.
Yeah.
I like that video. Like
Yeah.
A good friend of the channel, Eric. A good friend of the channel sent me an email on the side, says, Eric, you got to start doing deep fakes. And I want to do deep fakes, but you got to buy a programs. And those programs to do deep fakes, whoo, are like $300 to $500.
Oh God.
So I will one day learn how to do a deep fake. I know how to do it, but you got to have the program. I don't have that program yet, but maybe one day I'll make enough money where I can start doing deep fakes.
We would have a blast. I would everybody. Oh my God, deep fakes would be fun, dude. That would.
It would be fun. But I mean, if you guys wanna, I don't ask people for money or anything like that. But if you do want to support the channel to start doing deep fakes and stuff, there is ways you can be a Patreon. There's PayPal, and anybody who does that to my channel, Bob will tell you that if I ever make $1, it all goes exactly back to the channel. So because the guy goes, Eric, you should do a fund me account for deep fakes. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But beyond that, before we go, Sarah, you want to say anything? You want to promote anything? It's all yours. Anything about your channel or Viz channel? This is your last anything.
Anything.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the channel. Again, as I've said, I love watching your guys' show when I can. I've got a lot of homework to do, and hopefully I can come back one day and have a good chat with you guys again. yeah, as I said, I'm kind of a big Walking Dead geek, and I do reactions to the show and chat about Walking Dead, and I do my own live streams, which is kind of to chill out, have a drink, and just have random stuff. I'm on Saz Chick at all social media if you want to come and say hey. And yeah, just thank you for having me, guys.
Sub her, man.
If you're ever in the chat on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we don't have like anything really going on, no guest on, you want to jump on, you just say in the chat, say, hey Eric, I want to jump on, and I'll send you the invite.
Yeah, you're no stress.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
We have people from the chat jump in all the time. Like Vonage will just jump in. Joey Roca has jumped in. You don't really need an invite. Now, of course, if I had like 2-3 guests on, good chance I won't let you on. But if I don't have to on, come on, more the merrier. We love it. It's fun.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, especially the movie ones. That's where you probably feel real comfortable. There's no like this or that, or and this is like some basic like UFOs or something real basic, something like Sasquatches, UFOs, ghosts, something like that. But we get to the other ones, you'd be like, the hell are they talking about?
I am going to tell people that if you're into Bigfoot and if you're into like paranormal, our show we did Friday with the 2 different interviews we did with the guy that did paranormal Bigfoot, that was such a fantastic show on that last Friday. I really recommend to people, if you're into the paranormal and Bigfoot, you should watch that show from Friday. That was really a great show.
Yeah.
Beyond
if you don't want to be angry, don't watch my shows on Saturday. Don't be. I get too much hate mail already enough. I get love. Oh, that was so good. I get, you crazy son of a bitch. I hate you.
Well, so beyond that, I'm going to end the show now. I want to thank Sara for coming on, and I want to thank everybody in the chat being awesome today. And beyond that, I'll see you guys tomorrow.